Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. We have Andrew on Omnitell leading out with a basic island into Ponder. Brian on Eldrazi post is going to be able to attack both the mana base and Andrew's ability to play spells with Chalice of the Void, the most likely card that Brian would be mulliganing to. He mulled down to 6 and kept. Horn of Amethyst, another card that sees play. Really, Eldrazi post a hybrid of the aggro Eldrazi strategies, along with the ability to go way over the top with very expensive Eldrazi if you choose to run them. We see Matter Reshaper and a Blast Zone in hand. Glimmer Post leads out, gaining a point of life. Pretty weak opening here for Eldrazi. Brian not wanting to risk going to 5. Omnitell just passing, not really punishing the weaker draw here. Now we have a Matter Reshaper. That 3/2 not likely to die in combat. In this matchup, perhaps to an Annihilator trigger. And now Intuition. Lotus Petals being burned. A Wasteland would be amazing. Drew already burning 1 Lotus Petal. What's he going to do with this 4 to 5 mana? And Reality Smasher, that gets a Force of Will response from Andrew, trying to preserve his life total long enough to find a way to win. Now end step Intuition. Now is Andrew somehow sandbagging a land in hand? Had to burn 2 Lotus Petals. So Intuition for show and tell. Andrew may just be hoping to draw into a land here. Preordain, again digging. Those look like 2 non-lands here. Oh no, that's actually a Scalding Tarn. Right. Looks like show and tell Omniscience Cunning Wish. The last zone adding to Brian's mana base, and now a Chalice at 1. Too little too late there with that Chalice. It feels like that would have been great earlier, stopping those cantrips, digging towards mana. Five more turns with this current clock. Just not looking good for Brian. What can he do here? Show and tell. And just an Endbringer. Omniscience for Andrew. And I believe that's just going to do it. Perhaps Andrew thinking through the possible counterplay here. Or did he not have Cunning? Oh, he does have the Cunning Wish, yeah. So he can go get Eladamari's Call if he wishes. Actually going to get Brainstorm, Impulse, and another Cunning Wish. Impulse primarily run just for this scenario. Ability to get that off of Firemind's Foresight. Keep this ball rolling. Now that Brainstorm is going to be dead due to this Chalice. Does make it tough. The release the Ants kill, really the preferable way to go, but without being able to put an Eldrazi or an Omniscience or even a Gristlebrand on top. going to be tough. Made his selection. 2 random cards, or 2 unknown cards, I should say. A Brainstorm and a Cunning Wish. Is he just going to go get the call and hard cast a Emrakul or Griselbrand? And you're really making Brian sweat here. Cunning Wish and actually getting Echoing Truth. Bouncing the Chalice. And now a Brainstorm. Like he's going to want to start cantripping his way through the deck. Keeping Show and Tell in hand. Perhaps he... I mean, almost anything is better than Show and Tell. Once you have Omniscience out, you can just cast all your cards. Brainstorm. Another Omniscience in hand. Looks like. Preordain. Bottoming 2. Ponder. It's good enough to keep. And hard casting Griselbrand and Teferi. Teferi going to go ahead and bounce that Matter Reshaper, go to the extra turn. And swinging Annihilator 6, clearing up those permanents. And unless I missed something, that Teferi should have less counters on it than that, having bounced the Matter Reshaper. And Teferi's still a relatively new card. I don't think it... I'm going to go ahead and check the text. I feel like you can bounce your own Emrakul. Let's find out. While they are sideboarding. Yeah, 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Draw a card. So you can bounce your own Emrakul after combat and then replay it to take an extra turn. Seems good. Ryan, looking at the Leyline Helm combo here. Leyline of the Void not really helpful versus Omnitell. There are many combo decks that Leyline is some very serious splash damage. Of course, there are many decks where Leyline is just incredibly powerful, dedicated hate. But decks that run things like Snapcaster Mage, very often, if you're using the Leyline Helm combo, you're not too upset about how weak Leyline is there, as long as it has some interaction. Dreadhorde Arcanist, also on the rise in popularity. Andrew taking the long way around there. I wonder if he has the call in his sideboard. Illimeri's Call actually just reprinted in Modern Horizons. So if he does need a copy, they are not expensive from that set. A lot of value in those boxes to get dispersed across all of the cards. We've got some cards that I think will do very well over time. Very similar to the effect that Modern Masters and company have had, where we had cards like Street Wraith really devalued. Street Wraith is a particularly strong example because that was reprinted at Common Preordain as well, really bottoming out after the reprints, only to eventually regain. So Modern Horizons a very interesting set, both for its impact on the game and the sub-game, getting the most bang for your buck. Right. Brian with the play. This time leading out with Temple Go. And I gotta say, it feels pretty bad from an outside perspective to see the turn 1 go from Eldrazi post. It just feels like you're giving Omnitell just forever. Makes it feel like those counters like Force of Will just really, really powerful. Potentially just robbing you of your tempo. Perhaps something like a series of Thought-Knot Seers backed up by Cavern of Souls, something to make this work. And here's a Thought-Knot Seer likely to get Force of Willed. And it does, pitching Cunning Wish. And just a big tempo loss here. We'll see if Brian can follow up on his next turn with something punishing. Ponder here for Andrew. So far, his game plan is just moving on as regularly scheduled. Got a couple of ponders resolving, improving the cards in hand, Force of Will, stopping both a threat and hand disruption in Thought-Knot Seer. Fetching again, likely grab basics. And he does. Really do not want to get set back by Wasteland here. And a final ponder before likely passing the turn. So Brian so far managed to trade that Thought-Knot Seer in for the Force of Will, Cunning Wish. Have another threat, hopefully one that'll stick around for him. Like a Walking Ballista on the far side of his hand. Card that Brian's done quite well with in Food Chain variants. Card not quite as explosive. Eldrazi. Chalice at 1. Again, feels like perhaps not going to be high enough value here. Andrew checking the Chalice with a Preordain. Now Urborg, a very solid addition to the Eldrazi decks. Occasionally it does backfire, giving your opponent black mana, but the ability to tap your Eye of Ugin for black mana, very, very powerful. We see that enabling a Reality Smasher. May have paid an extra. Arn now. What will we see with this Karn? That Lotus Petal already out of play. Oh, and Brian punished there. He was trying to cast a Matter Reshaper, but was unable to add it to the board because of how he tapped his mana. Matter Reshaper needing colorless mana. Eye of Ugin only able to tap for black. And now a Thought-Knot Seer that is going to grab the Emrakul. And that is going to do it for game number 2. So Brian squaring things up, heading into game number 3. Not punished for that little misplay there. It looks like he did pay an extra mana for that Reality Smasher as well. Haven't sleeved that card up in quite some time. I'm pretty sure it costs 5 mana. Yeah, 4 and a Phyrexian. So Eye of Ugin going to make that cost 2 less. Only 3 mana necessary once the Eye is out for him. Urborg, just a really fun, powerful addition to these Eldrazi strategies. This is a fun card in all the decks that it crops up in. Turbo Depths as well. Being able to tap your Dark Depths for black mana is really something. The fact that it's mana acceleration and mana fixing in that deck is really nice. And Eldrazi, they actually don't care so much about the black mana by comparison. You can give sideboard options. If you're running Dismember, you can potentially pay the black if you don't want to be wasting your life. Situation where you don't have better things to do with your mana. Now Andrew on the play. So far Brian's hands fairly underwhelming. We'll see what he can land on here. He can start out with a turn 1 Chalice. That will certainly help him quite a bit, help his cause. He can stop all of these cantrips. Probably the biggest issue with Omnitell and all the show and tell decks is just how disconnected the cards can feel. Cantrips really allow you to navigate and find what you need to make them work. And Brian didn't even look like he had any mana there. We see a show and tell right at the top of Andrew's hand. Does he have the mana to go along with it? Looks like he is keeping. Brian going to go ahead and draw his 6. Brian keeping on 6. We see an Ancient Tomb. May have a solid start here. Perhaps Thorn of Amethyst. Chalice or Thorn, both would be very punishing. Really require either a counter or some type of way of handling them. So not as bad as, say, a Tendrils deck. Thorn of Amethyst. Going to really hinder the cantrips, but if Andrew can get to the point where he can just pay 4 mana for a show and tell, he may be fine. A 2 mana Ponder does still move the ball forward. It's worth noting Andrew does have Teferi to answer any type of problem permanence. That card really serving multiple roles, both as a mirror breaker and as an answer to hate. Now we've got a Reality Smasher, some life gained, some life lost off of Ancient Tomb. Brian's life total not likely to matter very much in this match. So Monastery Mentor could prove me wrong. If Andrew can find some white mana. Ancient Tomb is added to the board. And just gonna go ahead and jam a show and tell here. Just going for it. This is a very, very dangerous proposition versus a deck that could be running Emrakul or other gigantic Eldrazi. I think we saw Omniscience. Just going to go ahead and show and tell in Emrakul and pass. Grim Monolith for Brian. Feels like a Hail Mary. And sometimes they get there. Just show and tell Emrakul. Swinging Annihilator 6, going to trigger get to draw a card, but that is very little consolation. Really, it's just Caracas from here that Brian can hope for. That's going to do it. Brian left with no permanents after Emrakul does his job for Andrew. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.